1470 and 100.3 WMBD. This is the Robbins and Markley Show. My name is Scott Robbins. That's Jamie Markley.
Are we ready to go?
We're ready to go.
Okay. I, first of all, want to say I appreciate Pastor Harvey Burnett coming on our show after what we discussed yesterday and also, over the last few weeks when it comes to Change 150. And at the District 150 school board meeting the other night, this is what Pastor Burnett had to say.
No, you're not the sheriff, Change 150. We won't run, and we will not allow you to publicly lynch a black woman in office. We will. That's right. You heard what I said. We won't allow you to lynch her, and we won't allow you to lynch anyone that's helping our children.
Pastor Burnett, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
So my first question is, that statement, is that one you wish you had back, or do you stand behind that?
Oh, I stand by it. I mean, it's the truth. Why would I take back something that has no basis in reality?
I'm talking about the word.
The
word lynch.
Yes, the lynch word. You know what that refers to. You know where you were going with that.
Definitely, I know what it refers to, and I also know what happens in Peoria and what this particular group, the way that they are playing the media to cater to their need for creature comforts and employment and all of those type of things.
Now, do you honestly?
So yeah, I'm well aware of it. I'm well aware of the implications of the word, and I've studied the history and on all of that of it. So yeah.
Now, do you honestly believe that anybody who is opposed to what is currently happening with the superintendent or with other members of District 150 are in fact racist? Do you believe that?
No. Absolutely not.
Well, then why would you say that?
Not everyone who is opposed is racist, but there's a certain faction who is. You can ask those individuals who are driving by Dr. Lathan's house and throwing blue ribbons on the grass there. You can ask them why that is. You can ask certain board members who've had to security for themselves because of some of the rhetoric from this group. You can ask them their input on that. But yes.
Pastor Burnett, if I can jump in and just ask, why wouldn't you name those individuals when you make that statement instead of a blanket statement over the entire Change 150 group?
Well, the Change 150 group makes blanket statements. They're the master of blanket statements. The blanket statement that 27 children, which I've talked to one of the leaders personally, at the initial rally, at least the rally at the city hall that they had, that said it was only 27 students. That's a blanket statement. That says a lot. I mean, there's a lot of blanket statements that these people make to say everybody in Peoria is upset. If that's not a blanket statement, my goodness, am I not in Peoria? Are there hundreds and thousands of people that I know that chime in with me regularly? Are we not in Peoria? We're not everybody.
Do you understand how people can take it, especially those that are organized with the Change 150 group, that take that as you calling them racist by the statement you made the other night? Do you understand how they could come to that conclusion?
Absolutely, I understand. And what I'm telling you is that there is a certain faction of those who disagree that are racist, and that is without a doubt and beyond question. And what we have here is two different perspectives on the issue, and I respect that. But I know what racism is. As a black man, I've lived nearly 50 years of my life understanding and running into that from very many facets. So
I understand. When I asked you if you wanted to back off the statement at all, or at least clarify what it was that you would at least want to say to those people that took it as you calling them racist, that I didn't mean you and I would apologize for that.
No. What I said, and of course it spoke for itself. I won't allow individuals to publicly lynch. I mean, what is that?
I thought that meant hanging someone. Does it mean something else?
Yes, it does, especially in the modern age in 2014. It means something else. When we hang individuals in the court of public opinion based on misinformation, and we hang them up for basically false premises, we bear false witness. Yes, that's a public and media lynching.
What is the
That's the
what
equivalent in 2014.
What is the false premise here? I mean, what is the false premise? What's behind the movement to remove Grenita Lathan and also to have change on the District 150 board? What's the real reason this is happening in your world?
Well, my world is no different than yours, and if we're both rooted in reality, we can point to this particular fact that Change 150 has not yet presented one reason to change based on the needs of the students or the efficacy of education within Peoria as it pertains to students. Every change that they presented, everyone, without question, if you know some, please tell me, are based on the creature comforts, are based on their working relationship with the superintendent. But the last time I looked, I thought that they had a union to address those type of issues. But now we're going to the court of public opinion. We're asking the.
Are you talking about the teachers union or the Change 150 group? I'm getting confused.
All of them. The teachers certainly, which a lot of individuals are driving this particular faction. In fact, the last information that we had, the most accurate information that we have, is that there's a great deal of pressure circulating among union leaders. Jeff Atkins Dutro, of course, leads the Teachers Federation. And he is a part of this particular group, and he is advocating for employees that are members of the union to sign on to this agenda, to produce a change, because we want change. Yes, we want change. Well, that's fine. Negotiate change through the union process directly with the superintendent, or however that's done.
I think we're getting split a little here from the teachers union and the Change 150 group. And again, we're talking with Pastor Harvey Burnett. You know that as far as the report from District 150 when it came out, when we're talking about the Charter Oak principal, John Wetterauer, that they recognize he did not have knowledge of or participate or attempt to cover up any inappropriate administration of tests to special ed students. Okay, we agree with that, right?
The problem with that assessment and the problem with Wetterauer's involvement is that this went on for a number of years.
No, we can agree, though, at least. It's in the report from the district that he did not have knowledge or participate or attempt to cover up that.
Mr. Wetterauer was a trained professional.
Can we agree on that?
Mathematicians, university-level mathematicians.
No, that's not the question, Pastor.
No,
can we agree with that fact?
No, let me answer the question. If you want to ask me a question,
you're spewing facts. You're not answering my question.
And I'm going to answer the question with the facts that are evident. That if Mr. Wetterauer, who is trained in this procedure and process, also understood the fact of, how to interpret numbers as well, knew himself the vast difference between the MAP test and the ISAT test, that mathematicians have looked at and said this is a 1 in 10 million chance that these numbers are not falsified. That didn't happen just 1 year. That happened multiple years. The Charter Oak is held as the gold standard in this type of thing. Now, if there was a reason to look at it as anyone who's on the top, anybody who's in charge of this, first thing that they look at is,
you mean like the superintendent?
Irregularities. Now, you can say all day.
You mean like the superintendent? Maybe the superintendent should have recognized it if it was a huge disparity, right?
Well, say that again, please.
Then you're saying the person in charge, so the superintendent, you would say then would also see that disparity if it was so huge.
Certainly, if those numbers came back. But what happened in the Charter Oak situation is that Charter Oak was being paraded. They were being held. They had been paraded and held up for a number of years. This wasn't anything that.
But the superintendent didn't see the disparity in numbers either.
This was not anything that started under Dr. Lathan. But when it came
did she ever recognize the numbers? They had been there. She's been here 4 years.
I don't know. But I do know.
I can tell you.
I said scores that are in question have been reviewed and found to be flawed, just like what the current findings of the district and district personnel is and has been.
But just a quick question. Are you, by chance, Pastor Burnett, employed by the district at all?
Yes, I am. I'm a behavioral specialist and a building monitor at Lincoln Grade School, and that has been a recent advent of this year. And for those of you who are questioning my ability to speak up on issues and why I may be, you need to go all the way back to issues under Dr. K. Royster. Well, in fact, we need to go back to issues at Woodruff. We need to go back to issues with dealing with Tanya Jenkins to see that I was at the school board making arguments both for Woodruff, both for Tanya Jenkins, both for better lunches in school. I mean, I could go on through the list.
So
Okay. Well, do you
reasons-
think before like public statements, it might be good just to disclose that you're an employee of the district, just for public knowledge?
No, because that wasn't in question. None of this in question. That question has been answered. So when something's in question, why not answer it? It's true.
I just
So
think
what
for
does that-
disclosure
now, what does
purposes,
that
it
have
might
to
be a
do?
good idea.
No, what it is this is that knowledge to you means that there's something tainted about what I'm saying. It's not true, and that's a unwarranted suspicion, especially looking at my record.
No, I think anybody that works for a district and then gets up in front of people speaking for the district that doesn't disclose it, I think is worthy of question.
No, I was. Speaking
You're not a
for the
victim in that.
district. I was speaking for the district and against the district for a number of years before Dr. Lathan was even in town. So, and as an advocate of my children, I have a right to speak, who also attend District 150 schools, and as a parent who has volunteered for 13 years within the district.
So-
I'm also a volunteer. Did you not mention that? I'm a volunteer of 13
We've all
years
volunteered
within the
with our
district.
school district. Congratulations. My other question, as far as the Change 150 group, okay, if for whatever reason that you didn't agree with, they wanted changes, okay, with the school board and with the superintendent, is there a way that they could go about that would meet your approval?
Well, first of all, they need to take the vitriol off of their particular effort, and that's one of the things I would like to see a civil discourse when you have individuals within the field of education whose degrees are acknowledged within education. They talk to grown women and grown men like they're children. That's just a bad approach. It doesn't set right with anybody, and this thing has resonated within our community.
How about the
as a
parents?
black woman, she has earned her degree not only as a woman but as a black woman in particular in a day and age when there's much criticism and much much encouragement that we need to do to our children to continue the educational process. Now, her at the top of that, or the pinnacle of that, to have to experience these type of things and some of the name calling and all of that type of thing because of a disagreement, there is a union process.
So
For the employees, if they're under fear.
So
and
there's not a
intimidation,
way that
there's a
Change
process.
150 could go about disagreeing?
Yeah,
The
certainly
parents.
they can. They can make their statements known. Do what I've done. Make your statements known. When I was at city council, I made known to the mayor. No, I didn't want liquor expansion. They voted for liquor
Okay,
expansion.
we're getting
It
way
went
off
on.
here.
I left it alone. I mean, we can go back through.
I-
This is how it's done.
all right,
Pastor
you-
Burnett, I'm really glad that you came on with us. I think we come from completely different points of view. I don't think that's going to change, but nonetheless, I do appreciate you coming on. And, my opinion, by using words like lynch, you're hurting the community more than you're helping, quite
No,
frankly.
sir. By being truthful with the community and by being
No.
truthful with these actions.
That's race
and
baiting,
that's
sir.
the only way that these things can be taken care of.
Well,
That's race
here's the
baiting,
thing.
sir.
You talked about civil discourse. You've mentioned that several times. You like to have a civil discourse, and I would argue that if you want civil discourse, you also have to give civil discourse. And calling a room full of people who disagree with you racist is not the way to get it done.
No, did I say the word racist?
No, you said the word lynch. You knew what the
I will not
implication.
allow them to lynch her. Now,
You
if
knew
shoe
what the
fits-
implication was. You knew it.
If the shoe fits, I guess.
All right
those
then.
Okay.
What are we
fit wear.
arguing about here? All right.
I don't understand it.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay. Reaction to that, 685-1470, back in a few.
News on the hour.